Hello everybody, so today I'm going to be doing my coming out story out as bisexual. I'm not just going to talk about like me actually physically coming out. I'm going to discover that I was bisexual and like my experiences and just some like thoughts I have, I guess. I don't know whether this is going to be in parts or whether just like one long video, but either way it's going to be a long one, so I'll get right into it. So obviously we live in a heteronormative society, so that's what like I grew up in. But the magazines that I read like during my teenage years, so like when I was 12 till 15, I predominantly read like Sharp magazine and Sugar magazine. Sugar magazine doesn't exist anymore, but it stopped publishing the actual thing. It now just exists as a thing online. Those magazines were very heteronormative and like they barely like made it an option at all to be anything other than straight. Saying that though, in Sugar magazine once we did like have a real life story bit from somebody who was asexual, which is actually how I found out what asexuality was, which is, you know, good. One good thing they did. But yeah, obviously reading like magazines like that had kind of an impact on me. But I am lucky in a way in terms of where I live and where I come from, because I live in Blackpool and there is like kind of like a gay quarter to Blackpool, I guess, not as big as like Manchester, Canal Street and that, but there is definitely like a fairly predominant like gay community and like there's Blackpool Pride and stuff. In terms of where I live, I'm quite lucky, I guess. Like for all of my life I thought I was straight, but actually my first experience of the word lesbian happened in year 3, and I think it says something that this story I kind of repressed it for a long time because I was always dead embarrassed by it, but now I kind of laugh about it because it is quite funny when you think about it. So when I was in year 3, so I was age 7, me and my best friend at the time, who was a girl, I don't know why we decided to do this, but we practiced like kissing on each other. And obviously I was 7, so like my thoughts and feelings weren't exactly like set in stone, but I remember kissing her and I thought it was nice and I kind of wanted to do it again. So when I asked my friend if we could practice kiss again, she pretty much automatically just went, "Oh, Cara, stop being a lesbian." See, that kind of makes me laugh now, but I had never heard the word lesbian before in my life, so I didn't really know what it meant. It was years ago, so memory's a bit like hazy of it, but somehow I ended up with her going to like one of the teachers like on the playground being like, "Miss Cass is being a lesbian," and all that stuff. Bearing in mind this was in 2003, so obviously like times have changed since then, but although some kids nowadays would probably still behave that way because the education system and that. But yeah, that was like the first time I ever heard the word lesbian being used, and obviously in the way it was used I kind of perceived it as maybe a negative thing. The teacher that she told me off to basically was just like, "Stop being stupid, blah blah blah," that kind of deal. So yeah, as I said, I've always been like dead embarrassed by that story, like I've always like repressed it, but now that I'm like more comfortable like with myself and my sexuality, I kind of find it funny now, to be honest. Yeah, from that, for like all of my life I thought that I was straight, and in like late 2013 I like vaguely thought I was bisexual, but when people did ask me my sexuality I kind of went with the thing of that I was incidentally homosexual. So I would say, yeah, I'm straight, but like if I fall in love with a girl, I fall in love with a girl, you know, that kind of thing. But then in late December 2013, January 2014, I joined the Holy Trinity of YouTube fandom. Genuinely speaking truth when I say that Grace Helbig, Hannah Hart and Mary Hart, they pretty much turned me. I'm attractive, but made me realise that I kind of like them a sexual way more that I actually wanted like a relationship with them possibly. So from that, in January 2014 I was very confused because I didn't know anybody who was under like the umbrella of LGBT+. And like in my self-image 2014 video that I made, I said I was confused about a lot of things. Yeah, the thing I was confused about was my sexuality. And at this time I watched a couple of like coming out videos. Actually, my dad, she uploaded her coming out video and she's actually bisexual, so it was really helpful that she like made that video at that time because it helped me quite a lot. And at the time I was asking myself like, those were like the typical pretty like kind of stupid questions like, oh, but I don't look like I'm bisexual, and like, am I really bisexual? When, to be honest, that doesn't really count because you can define for yourself like what your label means. I feel like I kind of dealt with it kind of quickly, and I kind of like started to come to terms with it by just like telling myself in my head that I was bisexual, and that did actually help quite a lot, because like once you have it mentally in your head, it becomes more of a normal thing. I started making friends with people from the trans fandom, and some of them were LGBT or plus, and I started like going on a tiny chat with them and talking to them and stuff. I remember like the third time that I tiny chatted with my friends, got into like the conversation of like sexuality and stuff, and I completely wasn't ready to say what my sexuality was, and I didn't want to lie to them either. We were on like webcam as well, and I just sat there like this and just didn't say anything at all, and I kind of wanted like the conversation to be over, and I didn't know how long the conversation was going to go on for, so I was literally just like, okay guys, gotta go now, bye. Also during this time I kind of tried to like keep it on the down low that I was attracted to girls and stuff. Didn't make it obvious like anywhere at all, even on Tumblr, which is a very accepting like community. Like if I ever blogged a picture of like an attractive woman like Jennifer Lawrence or Shailene Woodley, I don't make it obvious at all that I genuinely found this person really, really attractive, because I was scared that people would like send me messages asking what my sexuality was, and I wasn't ready to say yeah at all that I was bisexual. So this all happened in like January, February of last year. I don't know why I did this, but I kind of set a goal for myself to like at least come out to like my friends by the end of April, and I ended up coming out to my two closest friends a year ago today. In fact, therefore it's a year since I've come out. At lunchtime, one of my friends was watching a video of a drag queen music video on her iPad, and I appreciate drag queens, I think they're great, but I was kind of self-conscious to be more enthusiastic about drag queens with my friends in a way of it was something shocking and weird, and I was just like, yeah. And it was basically at that point that one of my friends, she straight up asked me if I was a lesbian, and she gave me some reasons why she thought that, and I'll get to reasons why in a bit. And obviously it was a bit of a shock because I thought I kept it on the down low, but apparently not. So I said I wasn't because I'm not, I'm bisexual, so I was telling the truth. And then I spoke to some of my internet friends because we had a group chat, and I talked about it, and I thought might as well come out now because they already think I'm a bit gay. I'm completely fine with it, they're supportive, but just really great. And the next morning I walked to college with one of my friends, and she spoke to me a bit about it because she had some questions regarding like how do you know and how do you define yourself, but she was completely respectful, and she said to herself that if she was being stupid then I could tell her to fuck off. But the reasons before I was gay are rather interesting. One of them was because I had this photo of Lady Gaga saved on my iPod like in 2011. Saved it because in 2010 I was a big Lady Gaga fan. I still love her now, but not as diehard as I was back then. And she used that picture being like, new single and album bonus ways coming out this date, and I genuinely just saved it because I was excited about the album and the single, and I completely disregarded the fact that she had her arse out. But apparently that was like the catalyst of them thinking I was gay. Ever since then they had a feeling I was, but even if I was straight, you can't deny that Lady Gaga has like the best ass ever. Secondly, they thought because of the drag queen thing, and currently I am not attracted romantically or sexually to drag queens, but sexuality is fluid, so who knows, I may do sometime in the future, but currently I don't. And the third reason was because, actual quote, I like Hannah Hart and she's gay. And to be honest, well, I know straight people who love Hannah Hart, so not that they were fine with it and support it, you know, all good. And honestly, after that first coming out, I kind of just wanted to tell everyone. I just kind of wanted to like shout it to the world. So after that, like on the same day, I came out to my friend Lauren, who I know will be watching this, so hiya. Honestly, it wasn't really coming out to her, it was just letting her know, because I knew she would be completely fine with it because she loves Rose and Rosie and Hannah Hart, etc. And for following on Twitter, I'm sure she won't mind me saying this, but I kind of got the feeling that she wasn't 100% straight. So I DM'd her and told her she was super great and lovely about it. And then that same week, I was going out for a meal with my mum and dad. I thought, oh, this would be a good opportunity to maybe come out to both of them. I was super nervous about it, and I kind of left it until the end of the night, really. I was going to come out to them, but we know when we were friends with the owner of the restaurant, we were at the area where we were sitting to like clear tables and stuff, and I obviously couldn't really say anything whilst she was there, so I didn't. And then she started talking to my dad and stuff, so I really didn't like have an opportunity at all to say anything. Then like after the meal was done and stuff, we walked back home because the restaurant we were at wasn't far from where we live. For me, I was sat in the living room with like just me and mum, we were watching TV, and I came out to her, and then I can't remember fully what I said. I was just like, I have something to tell you. Awkward and hard to say, but I'm bisexual. I was by it at first because of the, you know, keeping it on the down low thing. I was surprised by it. She was like, oh, really? I think it was just a bit of a surprise, but it's all cool, she's fine. But then after that, like, initial coming out, I kind of started realising stuff, and I was like, why didn't I realise that I was bisexual before? You know, the girl crushes that I had on Cheryl Cole and Frankie Sanford, they were way more than just girl crushes. And like, I saw a text post the other week on Tumblr. Girl crushes are basically the female version of no homo, and it is so true. So like before it came out, similar to like keeping it on the down low, like with blogging photos of attractive ladies on Tumblr and stuff. Whenever I found like a girl attractive, I always felt like guilty about it. Like I felt like it was bad and like it was wrong to do that. But yeah, for a good while, like a couple of years I'd say, I'd always feel like guilty and just like wrong for finding attractive, like, oh, this isn't right and stuff. But once I like came to accept it and I actually came out, that feeling went away completely, which is great to be honest, because I shouldn't feel guilty about being attracted to somebody. But yeah, I think this is going to be it for part 1. The film and upload part 2 next week. But if you want to talk to me about anything, if you have any questions, tweet me or message me on Tumblr. The links are down below. I feel a bit weird doing like call to action at the end of like a video like this, but I guess like this video if you liked it, and if you want to see more of my videos you can subscribe below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!